Red leather, yellow leather. I don't like how everybody's brain went to the same place.
Also, like, how many times have we done that? Like,
Right?
probably
So
a million.
So many. We should probably do it before the show just to be better.
Just start a tradition.
Okay, I'll
With
lead
the
us.
brain.
The Peter is magic.
And there's magic in the Peter.
That's all I remember.
All wings report in.
HouseDog, standing by.
MotherGoose, standing by.
Lowtech Tuck, standing by.
Lock S foils in attack position. Animal Squadron ready for battle.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Animal Squadron podcast. That's right, it's me. I'm back. It's your host, HouseDog. I haven't been away. Elijah just hates me and doesn't let me be in episodes anymore. But I'm back. We're recording again. It's been crazy since the new year started. Elijah abandoned us, went on vacation. Tucker's been super busy with his real job, and I don't know why I haven't been able to record the past few times. I was on vacation.
Yeah.
Also, too, like, if the weeks that we were gone, you would have just, like, had to record by yourself, and that's it.
Which I could have done. But with me today are my two very good friends. We've got MotherGoose.
Hello, everybody.
And my best friend in the whole entire world, Lowtech Tuck.
What up?
Oh, can I tell you something that I noticed the other day, guys? I have two things.
Yeah.
Two things before we start the show. One is Star Wars related, one is not.
I've also got a Star Wars
enough.
thing for after yours.
Great.
Yeah, get after it.
So if everyone would just look at their Discord where you can see who's in the call, the names.
Mm-hmm.
So, mine has no spaces. Elijah's has no spaces as well. But I would just like to look at Tuck's real quick. So Tuck's Discord name is Lowtech Tuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed how it's low space and then tech tuck is one word?
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
just
I did that
furthers the Lowtech Tuck mantra and character. The fact that he combined the words tech tuck and not low tech.
Well, yeah, and also I did it on purpose because wreck 'em. Tech tuck.
Oh, okay.
Tech.
Yeah.
I got it
Yeah.
now.
Big
I got it
brain.
now. I just wanted to point that out. I noticed it the other day and I was like, I gotta bring this up sometime because it just makes his name so much better.
Hell yeah.
That he put a space in between low and tech and combined tech tuck.
Yeah, no, I don't know, because I was thinking, I was like, I could do 3 words, but I was like, that'd look kind of weird. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw a space in the middle.
Hell yeah.
Let's just get after it.
I like it.
So I'm glad that y'all are appreciative of it. Thank you.
Elijah, what's your Star Wars thing, and then I'll say mine.
Did you guys see the news that Star Wars Acolyte was Disney Plus's second most watched show last year?
Really?
Yeah. Which
You think they'll bring it back?
I don't know. I think numbers-wise, it still didn't do as good as The Mandalorian, but, I mean, second most watched series for the whole year, that's gotta be something, right?
Like on the entire platform?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, you know what? It's either on the entire platform or second most of all the, seasons they dropped for 2024. I'm not entirely sure exactly, but either way, it's still impressive.
Is it Star Wars specific or the whole app?
The whole app.
Wow.
So I don't know. We don't have to dive too deep into it. It's giving me a little hope that maybe it might get renewed.
Also, too, suck it, Marvel.
Yeah.
We beat ya.
I mean,
And I
what
say
shows
we
did
like I
Marvel release last
participated.
year?
Agatha all
Hey.
along, for sure, and what if might have been beginning of this year. I can't remember, or kind of like Skeleton Crew, half and half. But Agatha all along did really well in terms of reviews, but I think it was only third or fourth most watched.
I didn't watch it.
That's pretty good. I think you'd like
So my
it.
comment stands. Suck it, Marvel.
I don't
Star
know.
Wars is better.
Yeah.
Marvel shows have not been that great to me.
Star Wars is cool, and that's KEWL.
Yeah.
With the backwards
Yeah. And fat with a PH.
L. That's right, baby. That's right.
But Milky, what was your Star Wars thing?
So I saw a TikTok the other day, and it was episode 3 during the duel between Anakin and Obi-Wan. And I don't know why it just kind of struck me this time, and I don't know why this certain video did it, but it's whenever Anakin and Obi-Wan are talking, and they're on the lava field, and it's the lines where they're talking, and Obi-Wan says Palpatine is evil. And Anakin responds with, well, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Right.
And so I started thinking about that a little deeper for some reason. And I was like, first point, Anakin never admits that Palpatine isn't evil.
Yeah.
He just
That's
says, from
interesting.
my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Yeah.
Which I thought was an interesting concept, that he knows that Palpatine is not a good person.
Yeah.
He's just trying to find answers.
Right.
And 2, it makes sense that Anakin does think the Jedi are evil. Not for the whole fake plot that Chancellor comes up with in his office where he's like, I think you're the only one that doesn't know about this plot to destroy the Republic and that the Jedi are evil. Because Anakin really doesn't say a whole lot in those scenes. He just asks what he has to do and where he needs to go. And says that he'll be his apprentice. That's really it.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that he would think that the Jedi are evil, because at this point, Palpatine has masterminded Anakin into a box that the Jedi keep secrets from him. They let him on the council, but won't give him the rank of master, which has never happened in the history of the Jedi. And as soon as he achieves his council position, that they immediately tell him, hey, the only reason we put you on the council, well, Obi-Wan tells him, I didn't want to do this, but it's not me, which is another good line, where before he tells him that he needs to start spying on the Chancellor, Obi-Wan's like, it's not me, it's the council. I didn't want to ask you to do this, but since we're close, they told me I need to tell you.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense that Anakin would think the Jedi are evil.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
also, I'm kind of stuck on that he never argues that Palpatine's not evil.
Yeah,
'Cause,
no, he
like,
never says,
'cause
no,
he's
he's not evil,
certainly-
the Jedi are.
And also, too, he's certainly capable of saying that. Like, I mean, at this point, he's already fighting his brother, and, like, he's already committed. So, like, honestly, if he really thought that Palpatine wasn't evil, he would say, no, he's not, or he would argue.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, all that
really,
line would change.
it's more of a, it's not an omission, it's an admission.
Yeah.
Like, he's admitting that Palpatine's evil.
Yeah, all that
In a
line
way,
would change was you would just have to put a no in front of the rest of his lines and say, no, the Jedi are evil.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a really interesting. I've never thought about that before.
I
glad you
don't
brought
know
this up,
how
dude.
it
I'm glad you brought
came
this
into my
up.
brain. You know, it's probably the brain power I could use to find out something else or, help humanity in some way, but nope.
Hey, you know
Using
that,
it on Star Wars,
that little,
and we love it.
That little thought just creeping in through your ear and bouncing around.
Yeah,
created a
it
beautiful
didn't go
thing,
out
man.
the other one.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's that little rat that hides in SM33's head.
Nice.
I got the same thing.
Hell
He's
yeah.
whispering these things to you.
Yeah.
It's like Ratatouille, but weirder.
Yeah.
Ratatouille, but he's in your brain instead.
Yeah.
Like plankton.
Ratatouille, but he's a brainworm rat.
And he's also, and he's not even just like controlling you. He's just telling you these things
Yeah.
in a very, and I also have picture a very sensual whisper
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Yeah.
Probably.
Some ASMR. Yep.
Well, today we are talking about Skeleton Crew, episode 3, titled Very Interesting as an Astrogation Problem.
Doesn't astrogation sound like a dirty word?
It does kind of sound like a dirty word.
Like it's something that you like wouldn't say in public. Be like, Yeah, so I was astrogating by myself in the back room over there. And
Or else like you're telling a story and it's one of those things where like you look around, you're like, yeah, dude, there's this guy on the bus and he was astrogating. And anyways, and like you're in like a crowded place, but you don't want people to hear you.
oh, I have another thing to tell you guys.
Tell
It's
us. about
about Skeleton Crew, though.
Hell
So
yeah.
I didn't listen to the episode that you guys did without me on episode 2 because I watched episode 2 yesterday. Because I'm trying to do good where I don't, watch ahead in the series and then I get burnt out by the time we record it and I got to watch it like 3 times.
That's fair.
So
You're a hero.
I was watching episode 2 where SM33 gets introduced. Did you guys pick up why his name is SM33?
I don't think so.
Oh, Smee.
Smee.
Oh.
It's Smee from Peter Pan.
Yeah.
I did not catch that.
And he's the first mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smee. And he's all like hunched over
and he's
most
also
of the time.
like kind of a slave. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Good catch.
Like I said, I didn't listen to you guys' episode 2 recording because I hadn't seen it yet. And I was like, hopefully they don't say this, but I didn't want to spoil it for myself. So
Yeah.
I waited to tell you guys today.
That's fair.
Yeah. No, that's another one. I just, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, Smee. I never thought about that.
Once I
awesome.
found out his name, I started thinking about the show more, even though I was literally in like 10 minutes into episode 2. And I was like, this is very much like Peter Pan-ish.
Yeah,
Star
dude, your
Wars.
little worm brain rat is going hard, bro.
I know.
Really good worm brain rat that you have.
Yeah, it's going hard. My
Like I said, he's good for one thing and one thing only. Could I find the cure to cancer? Maybe, but Brain Rat only works for Star Wars.
Well, boys, love it, hate it. How'd you feel about this episode?
I like it. I mean,
I feel like we're getting
progressed.
stuff slowly.
Yeah.
Like, but it's also, I watch these episodes and I'm like, oh man, some more good stuff is about to happen. And then it's fade to black in blue letters. And I'm like, no, no, we need 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. Come on.
Please, sir, some more.
Please, 10 more minutes. Which is probably a good thing. That means that the show is doing its job of creating a story and a universe that you want to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we found out their home planet's name in second episode.
Yeah, second episode,
episode?
at Atten.
What'd you guys think about that name?
I like it.
To me, the name, like I realize that it's an ancient name and it's a name that like is unlike other ones and it, needs to be different. But at Atten, I don't like it. Like aesthetically, I just think it's kind of a goofy name.
Well, I mean, it's also just AT-AT with an ON or an IN at the end.
Yeah, but either way, like I don't really like it.
Which
I
I
kind of
think
wish
is
I kind of wish that they had
interesting.
made up a different name
Yeah.
for it. But
That's
that's
fair.
just me. Yeah.
Well, I think it has to do with how this is a supposed like ancient planet or whatever that was hidden away from the rest of the galaxy. But we've also talked. It's also mentioned in the show that like old Republic credits don't exist anymore.
Right. Or
'Cause
they're
that's, like, a
very
really big
rare.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they have them. Yeah.
Yeah.
on that pirate starport that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, they don't know. We find out in episode 3 that they don't know about the rest of the galaxy and that the war that has been transpiring
Right.
or that had transpired recently. And I was like, AT-AT, AT-AT, they know nothing of the war. So I wonder, whenever they created like this planet that's, I don't think the people that are there now I don't think this planet's like been colonized for very long. I think somebody was just like, what do we call this planet? And somebody thought about an AT-AT and was like, we'll call it AT-AT. And
Oh.
everybody was just like, okay.
Like maybe
Yeah.
post-Republic, early Empire? Like before
was gonna say,
the
well,
rebellion?
It's got to be before the war because they have no idea that the war happened.
Right. Right.
So I would think that the latest would be the Clone Wars that this could happen.
yeah.
Only because, like, I mean, like, they don't even know that the Jedi fell and, like, stuff like that. Like, the kids don't know
Right,
that.
because they never make reference to, like, how rare it is to find a Jedi.
Yeah, and so that's why I think that, Mac, I mean, like, I agree with you, Mac, in that it probably hasn't always been populated, and especially with how diverse the population appears to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems like it's pretty new, but I would think that actually, I'm going to say, was at some point in the older Republic, like probably prior to the movies. Just to throw a wild guess out there.
Yeah.
And also, one thing I thought about too is the credits they're using. Those aren't the same Republic credits that we see in the movies.
Right.
Those are actually an even older one. And one thing I just thought about, like, while we were talking is, as far as on the ancient thing, what if their currency is like our world's currency in that it used to be backed by gold, and so the currency was more strong, and then they went away from the gold and it turned into a credit system, and each new variation of the currency is weaker and weaker and weaker.
Oh, maybe.
But this is like the kind that was made when it was still backed by gold.
Which, to bounce off that, the like old Republic credits that we see almost look like they might actually just like be gold with like a Republic stamp on it.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I think. That's why I think like it would be like equivalent to, let's say, like Roman currency, how literally it would be a smaller and smaller piece of gold for the denomination of the coin.
Yeah.
Or a smaller and smaller piece of silver. And you could actually pay for stuff by chipping off a piece of your coin.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe it's something like that.
Yeah. So one of my favorite parts of this episode is it's kind of split into two halves. The first half is them getting away from the pirates. I love the fact that the kids get Jod all the way back to the ship, and then we're like, oh yeah, by the way, we need to go back to get SM-33, because that's such a kid thing to do, to wait to the last minute.
Oh, Mom, I forgot that we had a project. Can you drive me to Dollar General to get me some poster board?
Please.
Yeah. I don't know, it just made them feel like actual kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we think about Crimson Jack / Jod the Jedi?
I like him. I think he's a very interesting character, and he's definitely, you know, not telling the kids everything.
Are we pro Jedi or anti Jedi?
Well, I mean, like he said, he even says this, that he never actually said that. Like the
Like he was
kids
a
called him a
Jedi.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he never said he was. And so that tells me that I don't think he is, or if he ever was, he hasn't been in a very long time.
Yeah, it could be like an Ahsoka situation where he left the Jedi or denounced them or got kicked out, or there's a lot
And
of
also,
things there.
he's clearly a pirate.
Right.
So I mean, the Jedi wouldn't be supporting of that.
Okay, so better question. Are we pro that he actually has the Force, or is he using some pirate tricks to make it seem like he has the Force?
I think it's pro. I know the kids talk about other ways he could be doing that, but why would he? Or why wouldn't more pirates pretend to be Jedi, you know?
Well, I mean, we saw it in Kenobi with Kumail Nanjiani's character pretending to be a Jedi and getting people off the planet.
That's true. That's true.
But also,
And
though,
it's kind of a really high risk, high reward scheme because the Jedi are being hunted during Obi-Wan Kenobi, during the Kenobi timeline.
Right.
So to say you're a Jedi helping people escape and putting that out there is like you're a Jedi smuggler is a huge risk, whether you are or you aren't.
Lot less of a risk though now, being in the New Republic era.
Right.
yeah. So I don't know. I think he's probably, well, I think he is Force sensitive. I believe that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think my opinion is that it may be a sort of Ahsoka kind of situation where he was a Jedi long enough to learn how to use the Force to his advantage, and then kind of pieced out after that for some reason.
Though, with however old his character is, he was definitely alive during the Republic era.
Right. We actually, this is something we talked about a little bit last week, is his age matches up to where he probably would have been a young child during Order 66.
Which that could be why he left. Like maybe someone saved him and then he just never turned back. He just joined a pirate crew and just went from there.
Something else I don't know if we considered or not last week, Tuck, is that potentially fallen Inquisitor or like failed Inquisitor or surviving Inquisitor.
Yeah, I guess that's possible. The only thing, though, is with the Inquisitors, I mean, do they make it to, like, the timeline of Return of the Jedi? Like, do they make it to the end of the Empire?
I don't believe so, just being honest,
'Cause, I mean,
that we know about.
I thought Vader and Palpatine pretty much killed them all at that point.
Right. Yeah, the only one we ever see post Episode 6 is Merrick, but Merrick's a zombie, so...
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Who's everyone's favorite character so far?
Neil,
And
right?
don't say Neil. No, I was going to say you can't say Neil. Can't say, because that's everyone's favorite character. You got to pick another one.
SM33 then.
Is Neil the little elephant kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of waiting for him to die.
Well, you hate all
course
good
you
things and want all good things to die, so... How about you, boys?
I do love me some SM33. I'm just gonna say that's my favorite too, honestly. Because like the other kids, I don't know. I find most of them annoying, other than Neil. I think Neil's the sweetest little
What?
guy.
I
who's
find
ever lived.
Neil the most annoying.
Well, yeah, but that's
Really?
because you hate all good
Yes.
things.
Because he's always
love
like,
that little dude.
guys, we can't do this. Guys, help, help. He literally falls down the crater as they're trying to escape in this
And
episode.
that's so funny, dude. Like,
Yeah.
how do you not love that? Yeah, I think that's hilarious.
I wish he would have fallen in that crater straight onto a rock on his temple.
Oh my god. Who's your favorite character, Meg?
Probably either Smee or Crimson Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, actually, in this episode, I also really like what's her name? It's not Karen.
The owl thing?
It's,
Kirim,
Kira. Yeah, I like her. I think she's dope.
Yeah.
the little owl.
I love this. One of my favorite like Star Wars aliens. I'm so glad that they've introduced. I'm pretty sure we haven't seen them before, but this like alien species, I just think it's really cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh, another
Yeah.
thing I picked up on in episode 2 was that just goes to show that their planet's like very closed off, is that whenever they're in the starport, Neil's like looking around and he's like, look at all the aliens.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, this is the first time that he's seen like this many species of other aliens.
Yeah. Because it's, I think, it's mostly human.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, from what we can see, it's like walking around town and stuff. Like Neil and his family.
Then there was the girl Neil had a crush
And
on.
then-
And
Yep.
presumably her
And then there's-
family.
Yeah, and then also like I mean, looking around school and stuff, you see some other aliens, but yeah, it looks like it's probably 90% human.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, so's the galaxy.
Right, yeah.
The galaxy is massively human.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
One of my favorite parts from this episode is them escaping and they're still like tied down. So when they jump into hyperspace, that wire flies out
Oh,
and
the
just
fuel
yeah.
line.
yeah, just starts destroying the port. Looked so cool. It was done really well visually.
I
Yeah.
want to know more about their ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the name of it. Where's it from? Because honestly, I thought that it was, gonna be Captain Jack's ship.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
But it's clearly not, because like SM33 has no idea who he is.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, how old is Smee there, because also the captain is, well, the one that they presume is the captain is the one that is stabbed into the wall with that blade.
Yeah,
and it's a regular
yeah.
blade. It doesn't even look like a vibro blade. It's just a regular blade.
Yeah.
And also, he's completely decayed, and he's wearing armor. He's wearing chainmail, which you don't really see in Star Wars. So, I'm going to guess that ship's probably pretty darn old.
Yeah.
And especially for him to decay like that in space. I mean, like, I get that he's in a ship and things work a little different, but it's not... You can't tell me that there's much bacteria or, like, bugs on the ship.
They were
So I would imagine
on,
decay takes probably at least hundreds of years, I would think.
the ship was on At-Atten.
Oh, yeah, it was under the ground. It was under the ground, you're right. So in that case, yeah. But either way, I mean, let's say it's got to be at least 50 years old, though.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also for no one to know about it. That's the other weird thing. Like, nobody's, like, grandparents knew about that ship.
Right.
Well, with
anything.
like the whole
it's
like
weird.
Peter Pan vibe, I also get like Treasure Planet vibes too. That At-Atten is actually the world of 1,000 loots or whatever it says in Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
You know, and that they were actually using At-Atten as like a pirate base where they would take all their loot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's funny you say that, Mac. Actually, last episode, I know you haven't listened to it yet, but we were talking about how it's like El Dorado or Treasure Planet. Those are the examples we were using too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might have some of that too. I don't know. I just wouldn't see that they're doing a great job. We don't know what's going on this planet yet. We're 3 episodes in, but I'm not upset about it. You know, I'm still excited to live more in this world, find out more about what's going on.
Yeah. Talking about the Jod SM-33, they're kind of confronting each other and finding out this isn't his ship. I love that line where SM-33 leaves and he's like, I. And then he leaves and then he like
Comes
pokes his
back.
head back and I again. So funny.
He's trying to be intimidating.
Right.
Yeah.
I
And then
won't
also too,
repeat this.
whenever John says something, he like stands up, like gets to his full height. That also I thought was funny.
Yeah.
And then I won't repeat this. That was pretty good. Comedy gold right there. Comedy
Yeah,
gold.
Smee is just an absolute unit. And we've never seen his type of, like, the closest thing to his type of droid would be the
Imperial security.
yeah,
droids.
the Imperial
Yeah.
security droids,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
But also, like with him being older, I mean, what if he's like, you know, some kind of droid from like a long time ago, and like some kind of security or guard droid
Yeah.
that this captain had bought to be his security or guard.
Or stole.
He is a pirate.
Because, you know, he has, like,
pirates do
those
steal.
pneumatic, like, arms and stuff, you know, to where it seems like he could lift a great deal of things. So he could have been some old, like, load lifter droid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, some sort of like construction or
Yeah.
worker droid. Yeah.
Like dock worker droid that this pirate found on a planet and was just like, you're coming with me now.
Moving over back to the owl lady, though, she said something really interesting about how, while they were trying to find At-Atten, or they were talking about it, that there was like a group of hidden planets and that they were all destroyed except for At-Atten. So I'm really curious about that. Why were they destroyed? Were they all like At-Atten? Were they other things and had to be hidden for other reasons?
Or also were they destroyed, just they were strip mined and then just thrown away.
Yeah. Or was it like
Well, I
some
wanna
sort
look
of
at
attack?
that scroll that she rolled out with all the planets on it. I'd be interesting to look more at that scroll because there was like stuff at the bottom, like characters at the bottom of
Yeah.
people. I mean, they were aliens and such, but I wonder if we could find a little Mortis hint. Like, what if these
Ooh.
8 planets were, you know, virginces in the Force, and that's why they were hidden away?
Ooh. Yeah.
But if they were like virgin planets, why are there no Force sensitive children on them?
Right. Or
Yeah.
maybe they are, but as we learn, I think Ahsoka talks about it a little bit, some of the other newer stuff, that the Bad Batch, that if people don't really use their force powers, they will eventually go away. They'll lose that
we got
stronger
that
connection to the force.
in Mando too. Doesn't Ahsoka tell Mando that like if his
yeah.
abilities aren't expressed, they'll fade?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he first meets her with Grogu.
Yeah. Maybe they're all force sensitive on the planet, but nobody really knows about it, so they all just kind of fade.
Do we think that any of the children are going to be force sensitive?
I'll be honest. Gosh, I hope not.
Yeah,
I'm right there too.
I'm with you guys
That's
on that.
why I'm kind of hoping that Crimson Jack is actually, just using magnets and really, really, really small string.
Yeah, that would
Special
be cool.
string.
Oh, also too, we were talking about this last episode, Elijah. So I no longer think that what's her name?
KB?
I don't think KB's a cyborg anymore.
Oh, yeah?
I think that's a headset.
Gotcha.
Cause she takes it off
Well, the owl has one too.
when they're talking
Something
and
similar,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought that she was gonna be similar to like that guy in Cloud City.
Right.
That's like literally a cyborg.
Lobot.
You know, that's kind of what I thought, but after seeing this one, I don't think she is.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think there's
Or
degrees,
if she is,
though.
yeah, I was gonna say, or if she is, she's much more advanced.
I think there's
quite a bit more
degrees of
advanced.
cybernetic implants because I do think that's an implant, the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but also too, she has free, like, we don't have to get into this, but like she has like free will, like she questions stuff, and so that's also, I mean, like, I don't know if it's an implant. I don't think it affects her ability to make her own choices.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
If anything, she's just got some enhanced school abilities.
Right. Yeah.
But
Oh, talking about school, we learned that symbol that's on the other
Fern.
girl's backpack. Fern, yeah, is
Fern.
really important.
Yeah, that it's some ancient symbol or something.
Mm-hmm.
Which we did flash back to the parents very quickly.
Yeah.
Which
It starts
I'm
with
glad
the
they're not
parents.
doing. I'm glad they're not doing a ton of that. Of like, okay, here's what's going on with the kids. Now let's go back to AT-AT.
Yeah. Just a little bit here
I'm
and
glad
there.
that they're keeping
Actually-
that very minute.
with the ancient symbol thing real quick, and then also the 7 planets, I also wonder if the ruler of AT-AT, I wonder if there's some sort of secret cabal, some sort of like Star Wars Illuminati that has to do with those like 7 planets, and maybe he's one of them, and that's why the symbol's there, is because he's, part of that
Yeah.
cabal.
I mean, the ruler could literally be a computer.
Good point.
Could be.
That sounds kind of boring though, but
Well, their planet's boring. They say it all the time that their planet's boring. So I think it would make a lot of sense if the city was actually being run by an old data computer to just keep the world going and hidden.
Yeah.
Because people are flawed and have ulterior motives. Like, if the person that's running this whole operation knows what they have, they would either be doing some secret backdoor stuff, or they're literally the most boring person alive.
Yeah. Something else I'm kind of curious about. We've brought up Mortis and the other, 7 secret planets. So I'm curious if there is any connection to Mortis, or maybe even Tanalorr is another hidden planet.
that is interesting.
What's Tanalorr? I missed that one.
It's the
That's
Jedi
from,
Survivor.
Survivor.
Not necessarily that there would be, but now we have, 3 secret planets, technically 4. Kamino was hidden for a while. I don't necessarily think Kamino's being hidden, I feel like, is very obviously something different.
Yeah. Also, what about the planet that, or I guess that's a galaxy. I'm gonna say where Thrawn.
Oh,
goes.
Peridia? Yeah.
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 And there's the planet Luke goes to in The Last Jedi, or is found on in The Last
Octo?
Jedi. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe there's a connection there, maybe not. Well, this episode 3, any other big things that you guys wanted to talk about?
Oh, whenever the X-Wings land, I was 100% expecting it to be that Asian dude.
Yeah, me too.
Carson. Yeah.
I was like, if they make this him, I was like, I'm not going to be upset, but he's in everything.
I thought that'd actually be I thought it'd be kind of fun if they made it Carson. Or like a young Carson.
I was expecting it to be Carson.
I thought it was going to be him or somehow Dave Filoni.
Yeah, Wolf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or maybe, no, he wouldn't be around yet.
Well, so this, I was looking into it. Originally, I thought this took place around Mando Season 1, but I think this actually, if you look at Disney Plus, their chronological watch through, they have it taking place after Ahsoka. So in terms of series, this would be the most current or the most recent in terms of timeline.
Oh, so this takes place like even after episode 9, like by quite a bit.
Oh no, this will
Right?
wait, this will
Oh.
be
No,
before.
wait, this will be between 6 and 7.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I don't know exactly where it falls, but if Disney Plus has it there, that's probably, they're probably right about their own show.
Wait,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be 6 and 7, right? It'd be... Well, 6 is A New Hope, so how's it before A New Hope?
No,
Because this is
Well,
New
no,
Republic,
6,
isn't it?
No.
6 and 7.
6 is
so
Return
6
of
is
the
Return of the
Jedi.
Jedi.
And it's after
And
6.
7
Right.
is Force Awakens.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the
Man.
what's it called? The New Empire or whatever they're called.
The First Order.
First Order.
Yeah.
Like
First Order.
they don't really exist yet.
Right.
Thanks. Dude, sometimes the timeline is so hard these days.
It really is. It really
I was
Well,
is.
like-
there's only
I was
like
like, what? It can't
stinking
be 6
800
and
hours
7.
of Star Wars, so it's hard to keep track of.
It can't
Yeah.
be 6 and 7. I was like, the Empire's already gone. How is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imperial Remnants what we have right now.
My brain was hurting really hard right then. I was like, but it's the New Republic. The Empire's gone. The First Order's not around yet.
Yeah. Right now
What are you talking about?
the big threat is Thrawn. So if this takes place after Ahsoka, he either just got back to the main galaxy or has been there for a little bit.
Do we think Thrawn's
Yeah.
going to pop up in this series, or we're going to hear mentions of a evil in the galaxy corners?
So, last episode, I made a prediction that, and this was before I'd seen the finale, that Thrawn was actually going to pop up in this series.
Wait, Elijah, you've seen the whole show?
I have, but
Yes,
this
he
was
has.
this was a prediction I'd made before I had seen the whole show. So, and I'm not saying I either am right or wrong, but you guys will just have to find out.
This guy stinks, Tuck.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I'm a little
he always just
gremlin.
has to. Yeah, he just has to leave us all the time, and
There's
Watch
only like
stuff
8
by
episodes
himself.
in this show, right?
Yeah,
This dude couldn't even wait till we got halfway.
actually, in my defense, I did wait till about episode 3 or 4 came out before I started binge watching it. If that makes you feel any better,
This guy's got a problem, ladies and gentlemen.
I do have a problem, and you know what? I am not ashamed.
yeah, we always joke around that Mac is the Star Wars crack addict, but it might be Elijah.
It's
actually.
Elijah.
Yeah, I've got.
It's Elijah. He can't
have
even
to-
help himself.
I have to hit it.
This guy's sick, man.
Yeah, sick and twisted. Just love my sci-fi fantasy.
Just
He
love
can't
your
even help
sci-fi
himself.
crack, dude.
We have a show
Just
that we
can't help
try to do
himself.
together. That way everybody can say theories and everything together. And this guy's just like, yeah, guys. Yeah, maybe this will happen. I don't know. I've seen the
No.
whole show, so I don't know.
No, that theory was based on me having not seen the whole show. I've already said that twice before.
Tuck, what do you think? Since you haven't seen the whole show.
What do I think? I could see Thrawn popping up. I don't see him having a big part in it. Like, if anything, it would just be a mention of him,
Yeah.
or we might see him at like the very, very end. Because if he does have a big part, I don't see how that would make sense with the story. Since we're already over a quarter of the way through, and there's been no mention of that. So, like, for him to show up and, like, play a big part would be kind of random.
Well, we finally have
weird.
all of our main cast in the show now.
Yeah.
The children and
Yeah.
Crimson Jack. We couldn't get into anything else until we somehow brought everybody together until we start getting into more crazy stuff.
Yeah, but next episode we're halfway through the show.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I mean, if Thrawn's gonna be in, they're gonna have to really rush him in there if he's gonna be in for any sort of period of time.
Just as a reminder of my theory from last episode, episode 2, and again, this is a theory that I had when I first watched episode 2. It had no basis on anything else. When we learned that people thought At-Aten was like a treasure planet-like planet, my theory was that that's how the show would end, with Thrawn or a First Order ship showing up to take this treasure planet-like planet. And that is how they would explain how the First Order was so rich in the sequel trilogy and were able to build grander and bigger things than the Empire was ever able to when they controlled the whole galaxy.
Yeah, and I could see that. That would make sense.
And again, that is a theory that I came up just based on episode 2. No other information. Milky.
It's a game theory.
You're a game theory, and I love you.
Yeah, it's interesting how we all know the point that we have to get to for Thrawn to come back, for this next era of Star Wars to go on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For the movie that's coming and everything. And we're kind of running out of time here because all we've got left for 2025 is this half of Skeleton Crew, Andor Season 2, which Andor I see as a complete standalone story that doesn't really have a whole overarching impact on the current era of Star Wars we're in, because that's...
Well, yeah, because he dies.
Right.
So
yeah. Not only does he die, well, it's because it's during the Imperial rule. So his story won't have anything to do with what's going on.
I doubt that it will, but at the time that Andor takes place, Thrawn is Grand Admiral. So I don't think he's going to make an appearance, but he might. It's possible.
That's all we have left for 25, right? As far as like Star Wars show movie projects
and Visions, but let's not get too much into it because we will do a 2025 episode soon. I'm thinking not next week, but the week after, so that way give us a little break between the first half and the second half of Skeleton Crew.
No, I'm just trying to think of what else we have left to try to fill out the galaxy.
Yeah, this year's looking a little barren.
They're just setting us up for next year.
Well, is there anything else for episode 3?
No. I can't think of anything major that really happened.
Yeah. It's just one more step towards getting these kids home.
Oh, I kind of hated how they left off that chunk of where he goes back for Smee, and then he encounters one of his old crewmates.
Oh, yeah. And then we didn't really see...
And then next scene is him just running away from everyone, trying to get back to the ship.
Yeah, I don't know if this was a deleted scene, but I do know for sure that there was some pretty major scenes throughout the whole season that got cut. Maybe that was just a director choice, or maybe they had to cut down the episode a little bit for time.
Well, maybe if we didn't have 7 minutes of credits, we could have more episode.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it. Put us in charge of Star Wars. My brainworm can do this.
Yeah.
My rat brain can do it. I hope you guys are ready for a lot more astrogation in Star Wars if I'm in charge.
Oh, there's going to be so much astrogation.
It's going to be astrogation everywhere.
Everywhere.
Direct, indirect, all the time.
Well, I think that's everything for this episode. Audience, thank you so much for listening. If you want to be a part of this conversation, you can email us at animalsquadron@gmail.com. Again, that is animalsquadron@gmail.com. And if you could leave us a review wherever you're listening, that would be amazing. For the Animal Squadron, this has been MotherGoose.
Lowtech Tuck.
And HouseDog. And remember, you don't have to astrogate by yourself. You can always do it with a friend.
Always astrogate with your friends. Goodbye, everybody.
Adios.
Goodbye, friends.